So our Rome trip went well. We were up really early, drove through to Glasgow, and it was still dark when we arrived there. I think we were about the first to check in, there was hardly any waiting. Harry, where are we?
In the airport, waiting for our gate to display.
And Harry had a ball scooting about the airport on his heelys. Now when we got onto the plane, Liam and Harry, they were invited to the cockpit by the pilot. So they went up and they saw around the pilot, they sat in the seats and things.
Alright, we're starting to make breakfast. How you doing?
Yes.
I'm Josh. What's your names? Liam and
Harry.
Harry. Nice to meet you both. What I'll do is, I'll jump out the way. Harry, you can sit in that seat. Do you want to jump in?
You want to jump in and I'll take a photo?
Yeah.
When we were on the plane, we were flying over the Alps, and you could see the road that we drove when we were out there camping a few years ago. So it was quite nice seeing it from the air, a road that we'd actually driven before. So when we arrived in Rome, it was really hot, and you could really feel the difference between Scotland and Rome. Not surprising, actually. Then we went to pick up our luggage. Harry managed to spot it as it came round on the conveyor belt. And then we were off. We got a bus into town rather than a taxi, a little bit cheaper, and it was quite a nice ride, and it took us to just where we wanted to be, just a short walk from our hotel. So we checked into our hotel, and what do you know, what's the first thing the boys do? They get on the Wi-Fi. Why are you happy, Liam?
No Wi-Fi!
Actually, the Wi-Fi was pretty poor, so we didn't really spend an awful lot of time with them trying to play games and things because they gave up. What do you want to do now?
Explore, go and eat some pizza.
We had a really nice room. It was a little bit cramped with all the beds that were in it for all of us, but still it was functional, clean enough, and we got a good night's sleep there. So we didn't waste any time. Once we arrived, we went straight down to have a look round town, ended up at the Trevi Fountain. We're at the Trevi Fountain, and it's a lot busier than it looks in the movies. In fact, you can hardly even see the fountain for all the people. Busy place. Nice, but busy.
They say that when you throw money in there, it'll come back.
3, 2, 1. Then we headed up to the Spanish Steps. So right now we're actually walking up the Spanish Steps. Not the main part, the bit the side, but still Spanish Steps. So on day 2 we did an open top bus tour just to get ourselves oriented around the city a little bit.
We're an open top bus in the middle of Rome.
We're at the open top on our way to the Coliseum.
We went out, we were outside the Coliseum, we didn't go in, we saved that for the next day. Okay, so here we are, we're outside the Coliseum, which is much bigger than I actually imagined it. I thought it was going to be a bit more disappointing, but this is huge. 50,000 spectators it could hold, and apparently, something I learned today, only 2% of the gladiators actually survived. Scary. Where are we, Mummy?
Venezia. Piazza. That's about it.
Harry, where are we?
In a square.
That's probably the best explanation I've heard yet.
Square. Square left.
But the day was really marked with food. We ate pizza, pizza and more pizza, and of course ice cream. I don't think we really had much else other than pizza and ice cream the whole time. course, one of the highlights was a trip to the Vatican City. There was huge queues to get in, but they actually went relatively quickly. It was like an airport. You had to go through security before you could enter it. We saw the Vatican Guards dressed in their traditional outfits. And they actually looked very smart, very swish. We went inside this huge church at the Vatican. And I lost Aida and the boys. They wandered off, so I spent most of my time looking for them rather than looking at the sights, but I did find them again. So we saw outside big pillars, the area where everyone gathers to listen to the Pope, some of the fountains and things, and just had a really nice wander around the whole area. It was a nice afternoon there. In the evening, me and the boys went for a walk to the Trevi Fountain again, thinking it might be a little bit quieter, but obviously it wasn't. It was absolutely mobbed again.